Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Bill Mabry Online Coaching. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday so far. Today's topic, I think it's actually a really good topic because I get asked this question all the time, and it's all about protein. And so the title of this topic is how much protein does a senior need to add lean muscle? And for those of you that follow us, you guys know that Emily and I have been doing high good dietary fat, low carb meals. Our carbs mainly come from organic veggies. And we also do intermittent and prolonged fasting. And lately we've been doing a lot of the extended fastings to keep us, in shape, and also for the other health benefits that fasting gives. You guys know that. Well, what we've done here is that a lot of people at the gym, when they watch us train, and of course the shape that we are in, we get asked this question all the time. They want to know what our meal plan is and how much protein. And a lot of you guys know that if you're following any of these group sites, these intermittent fasting group sites or these group exercising group sites, most of the people are saying you have to have 200 to 300 grams of protein per day to add lean muscle, especially when it comes on with seniors. Well, yeah, seniors do need a little more protein than the younger counterparts because we are older and we're just not metabolizing protein as well as we were in the past when we were younger. But when we're training and we're trying to add lean muscle, because that's the issue right now. A lot of our assistant senior living homes are packed. And the reason why they're packed is because the seniors they're not drinking enough water. They're lacking nutrients throughout the day, and they're not eating enough protein. So obviously it's causing a lot of issues as far as losing muscle mass and connective tissues and things like that. So yes, we do need more protein, but the question still is, do we need the 200 and 300 grams of protein per day in order to add lean muscle as we get older? And obviously Emily and I are pretty much well over 60 years old now. I'm pushing 70, and obviously that we're doing intermittent fasting and extended fasting every day. And so what we are doing is that our first meal of the day, even on our high calorie days, we always work out in a fasted state, is going to be around 11 or 12 o'clock. So on our higher calorie days, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're still doing intermittent fasting because we're not eating until 11 or 12, so we're doing about a 17-hour fast. Well, on our fasting days, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we've been doing a lot of 24-hour fasting. So we're only getting one meal. So one meal is going to have protein in it, but we break our fast with a lean piece of protein or a small protein drink that's around, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 grams of protein. But we only have one meal on our fasting days, and we're going to have around 60 grams of protein in that meal. On our higher calorie days, which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're going to have two meals. And so I make, and then I'll have a snack in between the meals, which will be a protein snack, and then I'll probably have around 140 grams of protein that whole day. So obviously I'm not doing 200 to 300 grams of protein per day. That's just too much food for me. And when Emily and I were competing back in the days, we were in that mindset that we always had to have 200 to 300 grams of protein per day, and that was just too much food. That's the issue with today, is the American public is overeating even today, and they think they need that much food in order to sustain life, and it's just not true, because if it was true, then why are we one of the fattest countries in the world? Why is type 2 diabetes in the young and old an epidemic? And why is obesity in the young and old an epidemic today? It's because the American public overeats. That's why. Plus, they're ultra processed foods that they're eating that are addictive, and that's why they can't stay on a diet, because the FDA or the Food Administration, they know how to keep you addicted to that processed food by putting chemicals in that food. And that's why most of you will fail. But anyway, and so if you were to look at us, if you were to take what we consume every day in a week, I wrote down exactly what we do. So in a week's time, 7 days, we average out about 143 grams per day when you average it out. Now, those of us that train, have been training for years, we know what happens to the body if you're not consuming enough nutrients or calories or grams of protein. Is you're going to have side effects, especially when you're training. You're going to have lack of energy. You're going to be tired all the time. You're going to be losing your hair. You're going to be always fatigued, and you're not going to recover after a hard training session. 2 to 3 hours later after a training session, you're going to be tired and you want to take a nap. And so that tells you that there's an issue as far as most likely protein. You're not enough. Emily and I, we don't have that issue at all. When we train, we have plenty of energy. People are amazed at our age, how hard and how heavy we train. We recover by the time we walk out of the gym. We're down to a very healthy body fat, and we're maintaining and adding lean muscle even at our old age. So apparently there's other factors involved here, guys, and there is. It's not just about how much protein you're taking in. It's about how to manipulate, and I preach this all the time. It's about how to manipulate your muscle-building hormones and how to create new muscle stem cells even at a ripe old age as we are. And all you have to do is just follow science. And so what I did, guys, is I went ahead and did a blog post about this. So if you go to my website, go to billmabrycoaching.com, click on the blogs, and in there I'll put this blog post with more detail of exactly what I'm talking about. And besides that, I'll put a bunch of science in there showing how you can how science is telling us how to manipulate your muscle building hormones even at a older age to add lean muscle and to burn the body fat. Remember, if you're adding lean muscle, you're going to automatically burn more body fat. So you have to know how to manipulate it. It's not just about protein. It isn't. You have to understand how to manipulate your own growth hormone, testosterone, and other muscle building hormone naturally, not with synthetic injections, not with over-the-counter testosterone or growth hormones. No. You have to do it naturally, and you do it with the types of foods you're eating, and you understand the benefits when it comes to autophagy. Autophagy plays a huge part in older people's slowing premature aging, and also for people to add more lean muscle when they're exercising, for all ages, okay? So guys, go to my website, billmabrycoaching.com, click on the blog post. I'll post this afternoon in there so that you can read it in more detail and understand that it's not just about how much protein you consume daily, which is still important for seniors need to consume a little more than the younger part, but it's not as much as you think you need. Your body could only assimilate so much per sitting anyway, and besides, that's just too much food. I got, during the off season when we were training before a contest, I got fat eating that much food. And then I had to go through a 12-week diet down, which was ridiculously hard to do, to lose all that fat year after year. Okay, guys? So, guys, like I said, go to my billmabrycoaching.com website, click on to blog, and this information will be in there so you understand there's more to it than just eating enough protein. You got to know how to manipulate your own muscle building hormones naturally, not with drugs. Okay? See you guys at the next video.